Hello folks, I appreciate you coming back. Wesley Thompson here. I don't know if my equipment is doing right or not. I hope it is. Please don't complain about it, or my music, or my looks, or anything. I just want you to listen to the message. You ain't got to look at me. You got to listen to the music, but I like listening to it, and I got it turned down, so I hope y'all don't get me up in the air about it. The last thing I want to recap on the video, and I'm going to get this done this time, folks. Tell you something about the Earth's surface on this video right here. Recapping a little bit, I was talking about the old and the most religious and the most spiritual places and cities on the earth are all being destroyed and desecrated by the evil ones. Folks, they're getting rid of all of the roots. They're getting rid of all of the connections. They're collecting all of the tentacles. They're bringing in the net, and they're collecting everything religious related and Christian related into that net. They're fixing to, it's going to get really, really evil. Those of you who are fence riders, those of you who don't fear God, those of you who don't know about wormwood, those of you who don't know about the Great Destroyer, those of you who don't know about a geographical pole-shift that you are going to be destroyed in. Yes, most of you are going to be destroyed. I doubt anybody hearing this or seeing this message right here will make it. I just doubt it. I think your chances are slim to none, as is mine. I don't know enough to tell you that if you got strong enough faith in God and you believe in God, that you will be spared from the pole shift, spared from the cleansing and the rebirth of this earth. It's a possibility. I've entertained thought process about it quite a few times myself, but I have no summation I have no final opinions about it. Maybe it's just because of myself that I don't think that I'm good enough to be, I don't think anybody's going to pluck me out of the way of anything, because I've experienced too much bad already thus far, my entire life, almost all of my adult life, and I can't imagine it getting any better. Not in this life, excuse me. But anyway, gold is being beamed off the earth. When I say gold is being beamed off the earth, if you never saw any of the old Star Trek movies with Captain Spock and Kirk and, all of those people, they just didn't beam the people. They beamed their clothes, they beamed their weapons, they beamed their communication devices, they beamed their shoes, they beamed their medical equipment. They're beaming gold and silver and precious jewels and stuff off the earth because they don't want to have to try to find it all again. Y'all need to listen to this series of videos, because if you listen to all of it and listen to the BS that I talk, just deal with the BS. Go for the points. Go for the points. I'm communicating here, and I'm communicating my way. An honest way, from my heart. I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing it to honor what I believe and what I think that I understand a little bit about, and that's the Lord God Almighty and the one that He sent, Jesus Christ, and the one that Jesus Christ sent, the Holy Comforter, the Holy Spirit, the one whose senses communicate with you if you let it happen. It's not like words and stuff, but it's like conversations inside your head that you don't say nothing out loud. Of course, me sometimes I do, but now I'm going to get into something serious. I quit messing around. I told you I was going to do it. For many, it's your end, your demise is going to end, and it's going to be like, it's going to end in stages. I mean, everything will be shook down one day, and then the next day the water will start to come in. and or the next day something else will happen. But in the midst of everything, before it's all over and done with, it's going to be raining fire and brimstone. So no matter how much it floods, there's going to be a lot of fire. A lot. In places on the earth. I don't exactly know where all the places are. There will be a lot of water in some places and a whole lot of fire in some places. And water and fire will mix together in a whole lot of places. For a lot of people, it's going to just be different stages or different settings on a large stage. Here we go, folks. Brace yourselves now and listen to me. Turn your head away from my face. Listen to my words. If there's music, listen to the music, but turn your face away or turn the screen away. Put your favorite picture, your dog, your cat or something on the screen, your cow, your pig. Put it on the screen and look at it. Listen to the music and listen to what I'm fixing to tell you. And you need to pass this stuff along. I'm telling you. Any way at all. No matter what. No matter how one cuts it. It's going to be different stages until your end. Or it's going to be different settings on a large scale stage. And you'll move from one setting or try to get from one setting to another until they all blend in together, and eventually they will. Any way one cuts it, no matter how you pick and choose, but most fast deaths with abrupt and with rude circumstances and instances, the people will be crushed. They'll be drowned in tidal waves because the ocean's going to be splashing and sloshing with areas of the earth opening. Crevasses are going to fill with salt water that are 50 miles, 75 miles away from the ocean. They'll fill with salt water from underground. People will be falling into them and the water will be coming up, the ocean pressure. Anyway, there's a lot I wish I could had time to tell y'all. But the waves, due to the ocean splashing and sloshing, is going to melt away, to dissolve, to roll and blend and parade, to sand, to grind, to pulverize. There's tremendous pressure and mud that's filled with trees and vegetation and rocks and stone and bricks and houses and steel from bridges. And listen, when all that stuff gets bunched up and starts twisting and rolling and turning, it chews the earth all to pieces. It's a huge, giant rotor grader or rotor tiller, something like, so to speak. The thing you go out and break the topsoil up and run it back and forth 3 or 4 times to make your garden nice and fluffy and everything. Well, that's what I'm talking about, folks. And you're going to be a little teeny thing. You're going to be like a little ant, and ant colonies down in that ground that you're tilling. You understand what I'm telling you? Most will be drowned in the tidal waves. They're going to be big. And listen, these crevasses that'll open up in the ground, for the people that are able not to fall in them and look at them or think they have some chance, or the people that fall in them, they're going to be so deep that the other end, the bottoms will be dark. In a lot of them, you won't even be able to see the bottom. I mean, it might not be but about a quarter of a mile or half a mile or 2 miles away, but you won't be able to see it. It'll crack. The light won't get down in there for you to see the bottom. You'll fall into darkness. You'll be... Folks, let me tell you something. Landslides will, in the loose, especially in the loose surface areas of the earth, there will be landslides that'll easily be 1,000 or just as easily 2,000 miles of Earth's surface, and it'll all be sliding at one time. And everything on it will be bumped and rolled and turned and churned and ground into nothing. I would say that's going to be something similar to a shredding machine where you shred limbs and leaves, yard trash. Are you listening to me, folks? I figured I need to do something to wake y'all up, to get y'all to share some of my videos and pay attention to what I tell you about not fearing God. Here we go. We're still rolling. I'm going to tell you something. Whole entire forest ranges, or their cinders and stumps left standing, it'll be rolled and tumbled and chewed into an entire all new surface. You won't even know a forest was there. You won't see. The trees will be ground to nothing. They'll be changed from one form, a visual form, to something entirely different. It'll be altered from all that you know or ever knew, all the pictures you saw and everything. If you were still alive, you would think that you're going to be on another planet. The planet Earth, if it's left, I got my doubts. But if it were to be left, instead of replaced with a new Earth, which is rebirthing and turning it upside down, I don't know how they're going to clean off all the radiation. That would take an act of God. And so anyway, had you been informed of things like this, let me tell you something. The stuff can be changed from one form to a totally different form. What is will be drastically changed and altered from all you know. No matter if you're living in mountains, your body may settle in a new part of the ocean. Or it may be buried so far that you would think that all of you is forgotten. But your soul is not going to be forgotten. There is a great one who keeps tabs on your soul. I want y'all to listen to this dangerous stuff that I'm telling you. I want you to understand what's going to happen to you. I'm not BSing you, folks. I appreciate you asking me if I'm telling me that I'm either, pretty smart fella or I'm totally insane. That's a fair comment. That's why I tell everybody, don't put your attention on the messenger. Put your attention on the message. And if you got a problem with the message, if you don't want to pose a question that maybe another subscriber might answer, not me, maybe another subscriber might answer for me or better than me. So if you don't want to do that, then check it out. Now listen. The elite and some do reside on other planets. The elite, a lot of them no longer live on the Earth. They're not on the Earth. And some of them look like they're still here, but that ain't who they really are. That's fabricated second or third or fourth. And the elite and some do reside on other planets. They reside on other moons. They reside on space objects of fabrication, both government and private sources that have fabricated these things. Some dwell within their own massive designed and built, or designed, and they're presently owning or operating massive arsenals. They're like on if you could imagine a space station that was a war space station military platform. Oh, you reckon they got any of them? Oh, I'll be darned. Anyway, that's a good idea. Maybe there'll be one. But anyway, they want to be behind certain machines when that machine goes off. They don't want to be on the receiving side. They don't want to be anywhere around the bore or the muzzle end. I've explained in some of the other videos about how their fracking program, supported completely by all of the politicians who have, all but a couple, been sold out and bought out, and they are allowing the people to be systematically murdered and robbed, and they're allowing this continent to be set up, and they're allowing the fracking to separate on the fault lines. And what I mean by separate on the fault lines they have been altered, the fault lines. The fault lines, when the earth shakes and settles, it shakes and settles into a position and it settles down. Then over a period of time, movement will cause some pressure in certain areas. And you can use demolition and you can release these pressures sometimes if you're wise and you have the technology to know where the stress points on the surface of the earth and on the platelets of the earth. But you can also go the other direction. And these people are using their HAARP and Star Wars and all of these these big space toys and everything. They're using them. Daggone it, 16 minutes, I gotta stop it. They're using these. See, everybody wants a short video. I can't tell you nothing. You can't restrict me. They use these machines to destroy everything when the machines could make good everything. I'll come back and I'll finish this up. It angers me when I know that people don't watch the video, they don't subscribe, they don't share it because it's too long or the music ain't right. When I get a train of thought going, when I want to bleed out, when I want to tell things in a proper order, when I want to articulate or something, I don't like to feel restricted. And you know something? From this video on, no more apologies from me and no more restrictions. I'll make them as long as I want. I'll play the music as loud or as low or no or none if I want. They're my videos. I'm going to do what my equipment allows me to do. You stick around if you want to know what's fixing to happen. And if you don't care and you don't like me, that don't bother me. I'll shake the dust off my feet. I appreciate the ones of you who do stick around, and the ones of you who are good and true people, real human beings. You know damn good well I'm not addressing you. Wesley Thompson.